Okay, teacher besties, we are not letting parent phone calls stress us out any longer. This is the year that you are going to call parents, you're going to be confident on the phone, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it. This is my parent phone call bootcamp series. In episode 1, we talked about positive phone calls. Episode 2, we talked about a concerning phone call to a parent. And this is episode 3, where we talk about a concerning phone call with a parent, but you have the student present. I like to do this whenever a student is showing like an egregious behavior in class, and I need that behavior to stop right then, and I'm going to get them on the phone. And so typically with a student, maybe it's like consistent blurting. You remind the student non-verbally, you give them a second non-verbal reminder, you give them a verbal reminder, you give them a choice, you give them a reflection sheet, and then the behavior still continues to persist. That's 6 reminders that you give in that student. I would tell the student, hey, if I have to remind you one more time, it's going to be a phone call right now in class, in front of everybody. Now, I know that that is like not something I typically preach on this page. I don't like embarrassing students, so I do typically put the rest of my class on something else so that they're not really like listening in on that phone call. But in the moment, phone calls are a huge lifesaver when you are having behaviors in your classroom. So this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna tell little Johnny, okay, Johnny, we are gonna call your parent. I'm gonna talk first, and then I'm gonna put you on the phone to explain what happened. Do you got it? Yeah. How about you tell me really fast what happened? You're gonna wanna go over that with your student before you put them on the phone, because they could be like, I didn't do anything, my teacher's just crazy, right? Which has happened. So I like to do a little coaching before we get on the phone. So it sounds something like this. Ding, ding, ding. Hi, this is Mrs. Miller over at Blank School. How are you today? I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I just have little Johnny here. We're just calling because, unfortunately today in class, Johnny was throwing pencils at other people. I reminded him multiple times to please stop throwing pencils at other people. Unfortunately, Johnny just had a hard time complying with that expectation. And so I did let him know if he continued to throw pencils, we would be making a phone call home. So that is this phone call. And I was just hoping you had a few moments that you could chat with Johnny and help him turn around his behavior for the rest of the day. Would that be okay with you? The parent typically is like, yeah, that's totally fine. So then you put Johnny on the phone. I always stay close and listen to whatever Johnny is saying, because sometimes they're like, no, I didn't do it like that. And then, you can kind of give them the teacher eye, make sure that they're being honest on the phone. I always ask the student, as you can see the conversation starting to wrap up, can you ask your parent if they'd like to talk to me? Sometimes the parent says yes, sometimes the parent says no. If you get back on the phone and the parent does say yes, and they're like, well, Johnny said that so-and-so was bothering them. Oh, I totally hear that, and I can address that for you, right? So you're just gonna acknowledge any of their concerns, because you want them on your page. You want them to be able to see that you have the same goal as they do, that you both want Johnny to be successful. So yep, I hear you. I could definitely chat more with Johnny about that. Let me clarify that with him. Anything along those lines. Do you have any other questions? Nope. Okay, well, if anything does come up, here's the best way to contact me, and I really appreciate your support today. Would you like me to make a positive phone call home tomorrow